What's up guys, Nathan here from RHG, and today I am back with another video on Battleborn, and again I'm talking about the characters. It's been a while since I've actually done a video on Battleborn, and that's pretty much because a load of Borderlands news came out, and I've just not had time with all Christmas and all the news on Borderlands. But I'm back now with Battleborn. This game is still coming out in 2015, and I'm back with 3 more characters today. If you want to go ahead and check out the previous video that I did, then go ahead. It will be a link in the description or link on screen now, and that's where I talked about 3 previous characters. I believe I talked about Oscar Mike, Maiko and Phoebe in the previous video, but today I'm going to be talking about 3 more characters on screen that you can see now. I'm going to be talking about Thorn, I'm going to be talking about Rath, and also Marquis there in the middle. Now first off, we're going to go ahead and talk about Rath. Now basically Rath is the faction called the Generate Empire, and Rath is kind of a cross between a samurai, a vampire and a Sith Lord, and also wields a katana. And his katana is his primary weapon. In fact, the red thing that we're seeing on in the picture there are his primary weapons. And basically, Rath is focused purely on melee. He's basically a melee combat character, and he performs these horizontal slashes with his dual katana blades. And basically, all his attacks can be combined and dueled together in one long chain. And now, finally, for this character, I'm just going to run through a few of his abilities that we'll see in the game. First off, there's the catalytic smash, and basically, this smash causes the warrior to jump into the air and slam down his sword into the ground, and then the impact emits a massive shockwave directly from him and basically stuns everyone and knocks everyone out that is around him. Next up we have Crossblade, and basically this is kind of more the ranged attack out of the few that he has, and basically it causes Rath to kind of cross his katanas, unleash an energy projectile that travels a short distance away from him and damages enemies. So kind of that is like his ranged attack, although it's not that ranged because he's basically a melee class character. And then we have a genetic siphon, and this is a vampiric skill, sorry about that, and basically it allows Rath to absorb a percentage of damage that he's dealt to his enemies and keep it on himself as health, so he can basically stay alive in battle. And then we have his ultimate ability, which is one that comes and it just basically knocks everyone out. It's called Dreadwind, and really what he does is spins wildly with his katanas for a few seconds, dealing massive damage and kind of just taking out everyone in his path. And yeah guys, so that is Rath. He does look pretty badass with his katanas and looks like he will be a melee based kind of character. And the next character I'm going to be talking about is this character right here, Marquis, and basically what the faction that is considered is the Last Light Consortium. And a bit of backstory from Marquis is that he was actually a butler who served for Phoebe's family, and Phoebe is another character that I went through in the last video that I did about this. And basically he's a robot that kind of went corrupt, all his mechanisms kind of went corrupt, and basically he now, they put it as, kindly kills people in the battlefield. His primary weapon, as we see in this picture here, is a badass sniper rifle that kind of also acts as like a walking stick. It does look pretty badass. And also it is said that in game you will be able to upgrade this sniper rifle so it can zoom in further and it will have all like these different kind of combat abilities. And now I'm going to be talking about his abilities. First off with 3 kind of lesser abilities and then his ultimate. First off, for his lesser abilities we have Predator Strike, and this releases Houdini, which is basically his pet owl, and it will descend in kind of like a selected area that you choose as a player, and the owl will kind of circle in the sky and explode when it touches enemies that it kind of descends on. So basically like a fighter pilot, and it kind of just crash lands into them and destroys them. Then up next as his second ability we have Time Dilation, and basically Marquis will throw down a force field which will slow any enemies that are caught in the force field, and also augment your allies so their movement is faster. So if you enter the bubble or the force field, you'll move faster and enemies will move slower. And finally we have his ability Eins Wide Die, and this is a passive ability which causes Marquis' sniper rifle to automatically mark a hit enemy, making it easier for allies to spot them and basically making it easier for you to take the enemies down. And finally we're going to be talking about his ultimate ability, and this is called Overcharge Blast, and this is where Marquis kind of charges himself up and fires a slow moving projectile which kind of makes it easier for enemies to avoid the projectile, but if it does touch an enemy it will let out an immense kind of massive damage shield, kind of just taking out everyone in the area. And yeah guys, that's more or less it in terms of his abilities. He does kind of seem like a support character, one that'll kind of step back from the fight and shoot from far range with his sniper rifle and kind of tell enemies who's best to hit, and then let off one massive bang with his ultimate ability. The final character that I'm going to be talking about in this video, just to wrap it up, is this character here, Thorn. Now if you've seen the trailer you'll know who Thorn is. She's featured first in it, and she's the character that has the bow. Now she's more or less one of the simple characters, not a lot to know about her. She's part of the Eldred faction, and her main weapon is the bow, as we've already said, But also a key thing to note about her is that she can also jump higher than any other character. As I've already said, she's a simple character, so I'm just going to jump straight into abilities, and the first one that we have is Volley, and this basically allows Thorn to simultaneously unleash 5 arrows at a horizontal speed, all of which deal extra damage. This is more focused to be a close-up ability, and if you manage to land all 5 shots on a single target, it will be very fatal, and this is noted to be a leveling up sort of ability, so her darts that can be thrown can be leveled up throughout the game. The next ability that we're going to be taking a look at is Blight, and basically whenever you throw down a mystical symbol as this character, basically any enemy that enters the symbol will take damage and also slow down, and also this gives time Thorn to run away and charge up another arrow. Another ability for Thorn is called Dark Curse, and basically this is Thorn's passive ability and gives her an arrow's dark energy that causes extra damage to enemies. It also curses them, which factors into her ultimate ability. I'm going to be talking about her ultimate ability right now. Thorn's ultimate ability is called Apex Predator, and this just seemed like a really cool ability to have. Basically, she will summon a Scale Wolf, which is a ghostly beast that mauls on the targeted enemy. This can be increased in duration if Thorn first throws the arrows which were in the Dark Course ability. So it's kind of cool that the two abilities will stack up on each other and also make one ability better than the other. And yeah guys, that's it. I've looked at the 3 characters that I was going to take a look at. If you want to take a look at the previous video that I did on some more characters, that link will be in the description. And yeah guys, don't forget to subscribe for any more Battleborn and check out our other videos at RHG. Thanks for watching guys.